Hello, everyone. Welcome. I have with me Sara Lourenco, and we're going live with her because she's a nurse. She was a nurse at UMDNJ Hospital in Newark until March 17th. Sara had the opportunity. She was actually the nurse who got the first corona patient in that hospital. Welcome, Sara. Welcome with us on Soul Talks with Alka.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. So Sara, tell me a little bit about what you do. What is your occupation? What is your primary caretaker role?
So basically, I'm an ER nurse, so we get everyone who's acutely sick first. So we don't know exactly what they are diagnosed with from the very beginning. We are kind of ruling out what symptoms that they have.
Okay.
Is it flu? Is it cold? Is it coronavirus? We as ER staff try to figure it out before, especially with vital signs, so first of all, I'm going to say is always follow what the CDC says, their guidelines and what the World Health Organization states. Also, all these questions that Alka is asking me is beautiful questions, and I'm trying to give you as much information as possible, but mostly they're my personal opinion. And my professional opinion also. So I just want to throw that out there. Also follow what the federal and state, definitely your state government guidelines
Absolutely.
Okay. So basically, I actually was, like you said before, I had one of the first positives in our state. Well, not in our state. I would say at University Hospital. So the situation is that we had to reconstruct our ER, that fast track, which is usually used for orthopedics and little lacerations, non-urgent things, that we had to actually change it into an isolated coronavirus, where I call it coronavirusville instead of Margaritaville.
Mm-hmm.
So basically a lot of people would come in. We had really good, as a nurse, we do 12-hour shifts. Okay, so within those 12 hours, we had 4 patients that we actually had to send out. Mm-hmm. So unlike the flu swab that we do, and you could get it within an hour, the actual answer of your diagnoses, we actually have to send it out to the, it's the health, I forget what it's called right now. It's, why am I blanking on this? Anyway, it's they do all the swab and the testing down there, and it takes 48 hours.
And this is all before the media, the media knew it, but this is all before the public took it seriously, right? So no one really thought at this time that coronavirus is a big deal, or it's going to affect us the way it's affecting.
Right. This was the interim. So basically it was just maybe I have it, maybe I don't, maybe I'll just go to the ER just and see, which is the worst thing that you can do. My advice as an ER nurse is to, whether you feel like you have corona or any type of flu-like symptoms, call the ER. They will give you, if you feel, take your temperature. You have to have certain symptoms in order for them to diagnose you, even as corona. Just don't I know everyone's paranoid and freaking out about this, because it is very serious.
It's very serious.
But we don't want you to get exposed from people who do have it.
Right.
So that's why I'm saying, all right, everyone just needs to take a deep breath and relax. And unless you have the symptoms, and I tell my family this all the time, do you have a fever? Do you have shortness of breath? Because my parents are over 65, my dad is almost 65. My mom's not yet, but my dad's almost 65.
Yeah.
And he has multiple morbidities too, which is the diabetes, the hypertension. So you need to be aware of those situations.
Absolutely.
That make you higher at risk.
Right.
So don't just go to your ER just because you're nervous about it, because you will become more susceptible to it.
Is it better to go to a different testing site, which may not be as busy?
Well, actually, that's very interesting that you asked me that. I just got a new puppy, and I tweaked my back a little weird, so I went to an urgent care center, and they were fabulous. They wouldn't let my fiance in, and they kind of said, okay, you stay there. They will all get up, and I was just but I'm not here for what you think I'm here for. I don't have a cough. I don't have a cold. I have nothing. I literally can't walk or bend my back. you know, I just need Flexeril and I just need to go. Like, that's basically like what my back was just spasming like that bad, right? But they did wonderfully. Like, that's something that I could really say. And it kind of goes with like one of our like things that we spoke about, the masks.
Right.
Right.
Are the masks helpful? Are the masks helpful? Should people be wearing them?
That's the thing. So it depends on the mask. And to be honest, I don't think anyone, unless you're a healthcare worker, because my coworkers and my friends are suffering, who are nurses, they don't have enough N95s to protect them. So basically they are taking care of coronavirus patients, and they are taking like positive people who are in the ICU. Like, I have various friends from nursing school, my coworkers, you know, that they need these supplies, and unfortunately people are actually like going out and grabbing them from like the hospitals, or like the visitors are going into the isolation carts. Like, don't do that, because we're trying to actually, we're sacrificing ourselves and our well-being to take care of the population.
Right.
You know, like this is not just a profession, it's a service.
Right.
You know, like this is a call to service. So
absolutely, you're putting your lives in danger to take care of everybody else.
So let us do our job so we can help you guys. That's basically what I'm saying. Also with the masks, with the surgical masks, so basically it goes by the pores of the mask. So the surgical mask has bigger pores than the actual virus. So that's why I don't believe surgical masks actually are functional in this type of viral situation, you know, because the pores are too big, right? That's why you need N95s, which are specific and fitted to your face, because if you wear the wrong ones, you're going to get it anyway, you know?
Right.
So it comes in different sizes, and you have to get professionally fitted for it.
Right.
And so big emphasis on this is hand hygiene. Make sure you sing to yourself happy birthday twice. Okay, seriously, wash. I'll never forget. Which hospital was it? I've been to many hospitals as an ER nurse, you know, and there was one hospital that actually made me put glitter on my hands and went to go wash my hands. So like, as a project, since you're home, you might as well put like glitter on your hands. If you have kids, go wash your hands, count happy birthday twice, and see how much glitter you still have on your hands.
But you know what? Ever since you said that to me, I realized that when we wash our hands, we do it so quickly. But if you actually have glitter, it takes a long time to wash your hands, because it gets in your cuticles, it gets under your nails. Yes.
Like even your like cuticles, you don't even think of.
Yes.
So it's like those type of things. Like, and I think there's also like the way that she did it was she presented it as like an ultraviolet light glitter, and then she actually just ran it over our hands, like even with Purell at work too, which is weird. Wow. So Purell and hand washing, definitely a positive all the time. For me, I'm very happy that I was as anal as I was, because my father was here with me, and again, he does have very high
morbidities
towards it. So I called him and I said, look, I want you to bring Lysol, chlorhexidine wipes, like Clorox wipes, everything that you got like in the house. I want you to put it in the middle of the parking space, and for the good of the community, for my condo association, I stripped in the middle of my parking lot, because I had this feeling that this guy was going to end up turning positive, and he did.
Wow.
You know, down to the knobs, down to the washing machine, everything. Like, you just need to like make sure that, like, I even use like white vinegar. So that's like.
So how often should someone sanitize their house?
House, I can't say, but I would do it depending on how sick people are, definitely like on a weekly basis. I would leave your shoes outside of your door, because that's what you're walking. You don't know where you're walking into.
Yes.
Basically.
So removing your shoes outside in your garage if you're coming in from the outside.
Oh yeah, totally. Like in my future house, I want a mudroom, okay? Like, this is what I want, because I want a mudroom with a laundry, with washer and dryer, so I could just throw my clothes in, because working in Newark, I could seriously say, has enlightened my life on those things.
Yeah.
From bugs to HIV to hepatitis C, like I had blood all over my body at one point.
Wow.
So that is like one of my big things.
And what are your thoughts on social distancing? For the people who are still not taking this seriously.
Like, okay, like even on a daily basis without this whole going on, like don't go in my bubble. You know, like that's just me. Like that should be like social respect. Just keep like a hand apart, like cover your mouth not with your hands because your hands are gonna get dirty. Like I went to go fix my phone the other day and I had someone with an N95, which was just hanging out, walking around with gloves. Like, why are you doing that? Like, don't wear gloves in public because you're touching things and then you're going to touch other things. Either way, and you're not washing your hands, you're getting other people sick. You're just being like basically a bee pollinating everyone else.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
So how should someone wear gloves? There's a proper way to wear gloves too, right?
Right. So basically, I mean, when I put on my PPE, what we call it, it's for us to be protected. So basically, I put gloves on first, then I put my gown on, and then I put another set of gloves, so I'm double gloved, right?
Okay.
You always have your hair back.
Okay.
Right? And then you put your N95 and then a shield over it, depending on the situation. Like with that man, I didn't have a shield on my eyes.
Right.
But I mean, he was also a gentleman and not coughed in my face.
Wow.
You know, like you have to just be very thorough in those things.
Yeah.
You know, and it causes a lot of stress. Like I know for my dad, like that day I was like, okay, I'm very stressed out. Like you need to like leave, like, because I'm worried for him, just like everyone else is stressed in this situation.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. So Alana just joined in, and Alana wants to know, Alana, we're talking about what to do if you are worried about coronavirus, and we have a nurse with us. And Sarah, she missed about the masks. Are masks helpful, and should laymen be wearing them?
For surgical masks, I really don't believe in it because the pores are too big for the virus.
Right.
So that's why we are fitted as practitioners specifically for N95s, which that's what they're called.
But for people walking around, what should we be wearing?
I don't think that just if you got a cough into your arm.
Okay.
You know, it's not like breathing on you. You're not even that close. Like you're distancing yourself from a person. Right. So like I said before, like the major two things are social distancing and hand washing. Like I see someone too close to me and in a store, I like step 3 steps to the side, and I do that anyway, being like, I guess from New Jersey, you know, which I'm surprised we don't practice this more, but you know, I think it's something that like we really need. The masks, surgical masks won't do anything for this.
So what would you say to people who are still playing in parks, who are still, going out with friends, who are still not taking social distancing seriously? What would you say to them?
I actually had someone go to Vegas. That's one of my friends.
Wow.
And I told him I was like, you're an idiot.
Wow, that's crazy.
Not to be judgmental or anything, but you're gonna get sick and then I'm gonna treat you. So I could call you an idiot.
Wow.
But I'll give you a hug after, or a little good pat on the back while you're sick with like viruses and stuff.
Wow.
But I mean, it's unfortunate because it's frustrating to me because you're gonna get sick. It's not just your regular flu. It is a combination of an avian flu with this flu. Imagine the flu we had 2 years ago, because I remember you and I were discussing this.
Yes.
2 years ago, almost everyone in my family had it except for me.
Yes.
And I was in an isolation room with my grandfather who had the flu, and my parents were at home both who had the flu.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So the thing is that imagine that flu, and I told my family that the same thing. My sister, my dad, my mom, remember that situation that we had? Imagine that times 10.
Yes.
You know, and I hear stories about people who are older, not even older, because I don't even believe like people in their 50s are old, because they're not. They're very
Please
much
don't,
young,
please don't say that. Please don't say that.
No. Like it physically hurts. That it's like I hear stories now. Like I heard a story the other day that if it's 56-year-old is on a respirator, kidneys are failing, he's on dialysis. You know, he's a firefighter.
Wow.
And ended up getting the virus, I don't know how, and all of a sudden, and they called his wife.
Wow.
So it's like things like that really like is very like frustrating.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, everyone just needs to like keep your distance, stay home, keep yourself quarantined. You know, I am more worried about your inside and outside the house than being on the inside. Like if someone is sick on the inside, you know someone's sick on the inside.
Right.
You know, don't introduce someone else from the outside from your festering like germ pool on the inside. You know, like you want to protect other people too. Don't be selfish and just think of yourself.
Right.
You know, and I think this is what's kind of like opening up our eyes to this.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, like I also, it's weird. I put like eucalyptus. I'm very like into like we've talked about like I know we're gonna talk about future things, but like eucalyptus, like I do aromatherapy and like peppermint and lavender. If my mom is watching, tea tree oil, like she is like this like homeopathic guru.
Right.
You know, like
those things are really, really important. And it's important to do that now as preventative care.
Yeah, and I believe that 100%. Like eating properly, not like I had like popcorn and stuff. You know, like you want to like eat like a normal meal, you know, like you also want to meditate. And I would say like pray to your higher power, whoever you believe that is.
Yes.
You know, also pet therapy. I just got a puppy. She's adorable.
That's nice.
You know, she's a pain, but she also is taking me away from not just watching the news.
Yes.
You know, because you just perseverating over this stuff is also not good.
It's crazy. Yes.
You know, I would just say, and I told my mom like sends me stuff, and I told her yesterday, I was just like, you need to stop.
Yeah.
Like, I love you, but you need to stop because it's just sometimes it's just very like overwhelming.
So what for the people who are watching an abundance of news, that's great, Alana. Alana's using eucalyptus oil and tea tree oil. That's great. But for people who are scared and are watching the news, what are some pieces of advice that you would give to them to kind of get their sanity back? Because it's really easy to go into a rabbit hole, right? When you see the death toll rising, when you see like so many people being diagnosed.
It's so much worse. This is what people aren't understanding. Okay, I'm going to like 1917 influenza, okay? When we didn't have social media, when we didn't have anything like that, you know, and 26 million people around the world died. Yeah. You know, like, because they didn't have the information that we do. Like, now that we have it, like, more bombarded in our face. Right. They didn't know about it at all. And people were getting sick, and they were just like, what's going on? So imagine if we didn't even have this type of communication. Right. You know, like, how many people more would be dying? How many more people would be sick? Yeah. There's pros and cons to being aware in social media, right? There's a pros and then there's a con. I want to be hyper aware and be able to shut it off. Right. And to not be able to. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. So that's just my opinion on that, because it could be so much worse. Like that, I think that's an ER statement. Like that's a mantra in the ER as like a nurse. It's just everything could just be so much worse. Right. So, but for advice that you had to give to them, let's say not to be scared, but what are a couple of things that people can do to protect themselves? Because this begins from you, right? If you take care of yourself, it's an exponential effect that you take care of people around. Well, like what we were talking about, like sleeping, like eating properly, just take care of yourself as a human first. Like do your own. That's right. Needs. Mindfulness, aromatherapy, you know. What foods are good? What foods should you be eating? Vitamins. Vitamins are really good for you too, like garlic, zinc. My mom's gonna be very happy that I say ginger if she's on. Yes. Yeah, ginger tea is like a very good for actually everything. Onion actually, because this is a respiratory issue. Like it becomes a respiratory drive issue, you know. So onions. And you can that's like a homeopathic way of doing things. Like I know a lot of people do things with like cocoa butter, and I remember learning this in nursing school that it was microbiome class. So this is why we do microbiology class in for our nursing school, is to learn that silver is actually an antiviral. So try to like put your silver chains on. I don't know, but like I know that silver is an antiviral, and zinc definitely, and I believe in like echinacea and vitamin C also.
And then wash your hands. Wash your
Yeah,
hands.
I can't emphasize that enough. Like if I could put it on my forehead, like tattoo it on my forehead for like temporarily tattoo and put like wash your hands please. Because that night that I actually had a cardiologist like come up and she started typing and she didn't even do anything with her hands. I was doing the whole like side eye, like, what are you doing? Like, you know, you're in an area that people are going to be sick, you know, like the super sick that have to go on vents go to our acute area, you know, what we call the main. But my gentleman actually was very sick, you know, and he was with me.
Right. But so you want to wash it, like Sara said, you want to wash your hands like you have glitter on your hands. So take time and wash those hands properly.
Oh yeah, totally be patient. Where are you going? You're not going anywhere. You're quarantined.
Yeah.
Just wash your hands.
Just wash your hands properly.
Just wash your hands and with Lysol everything, like if you feel like it, because I Lysol everything anyway, and for it has to do like your entryway and your back door. You know, don't let anyone come in with your sneakers because that just skeeves me out anyway. Because you're bringing your germs from the outside in.
Yeah, this
like,
is all basic.
Street clothes on your bed, like that bothers me too. Please don't do that because that's just the germs that are getting on your bed.
Yeah, if you're coming from the outside, please wash your clothes before you enter. Leave a change. So what I've started to do is I leave a change of clothes in the garage. I change my clothes before I come into the house. And then I put those clothes straight into the laundry and I go upstairs and take a shower. So you have to take care of these measures for you because it's important. You have to take care of yourself and so that you can take care of others. Right, Sara?
Yes, you do.
Yes.
Sorry, my dog, my puppy. I wanted to show you guys. She's coming. She's my pet therapy. She's my reducing of stress.
That's nice. See, if you have a pet, that's important.
Right, that's what I'm saying is that also because stress messes with your immune system.
Right. So if you can meditate, if you can pet your animals, pet your dog, pet your cat, those are stress reducers.
Oh, she's been my stress reducer actually during this whole time.
Oh, hi, sweetheart.
And I'll tell you a story. It's a very personal story. I was diagnosed with an ovarian vein thrombosis, which is a clot in my ovarian vein, which is super rare. And the more stressed I got, the more clenched and the more pain I was. So know that there is a systemic response to stress.
That's right.
And being in a stressful situation.
Yeah, and if you watch the news,
yes.
If you watch the news, you're putting yourself in stress all the time.
Oh, also you can walk in a park.
Yeah.
Like go walking. You don't have to stay inside. Go walking. Just stay away from people when you're walking in a park.
Yes.
You know, like you're in your car by yourself. Just go. That's what I did the other day. I was like, you know what? I'm getting cabin fever. I want to go for at least like
absolutely.
a walk. So go walk around your block. Do the whole like elbow high to your neighbor. The whole like high to your neighbor that you're far enough away. But just be safe.
Be safe.
Really be safe about it. I think of it kind of like the whole like we had like an Ebola scare. So like my hospital has like the whole like Ebola virus tent or whatever. So like we get tested for like complete like head to toe hazmat like suits. So like that's something that I would.
But know that what these frontliners are
It could be worse.
It could be worse.
It could be so much worse.
Yeah.
So just stay away from people.
Yeah, and these frontliners are putting their lives at risk. And they're appealing to you to do all of these things. So
yeah, especially like EMS officers,
yes.
Like they don't, I would say EMS more than like officers or firefighters because they're actually dealing with you.
Right.
Like they're the first.
Yes.
They're the first to assess you and then like we get the full head to toe assessment.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Make sure you cover your mouth with your sleeve. Yes. Don't only go into the hospital if you have the symptoms. Like, don't get freaked out because you might be next to someone who is sick.
Yes.
That's like my biggest like thing. Like, don't call. Like, we always answer the phone, talk to a practitioner, and they'll be like, hey, like, test your fever, take Tylenol. If Tylenol doesn't work, then take Motrin. If Motrin doesn't work, because
and then steam. I heard steaming.
I
heard steaming works really well.
I didn't hear about that.
Okay, I heard steaming works really well.
Like ibuprofen. This whole thing about ibuprofen, about the whole, that's actually like false. On US News Today, I actually read that whole situation with ibuprofen that they're saying that it makes it worse. That's actually not true. I think it's more long-term what they're talking about, like, because that's what affects the kidneys and hence like the dialysis and the kidney failure, and then you're in like all that stuff.
But again, talk to your doctor, talk to your doctor, talk to your primary healthcare person, and make sure that you're being guided. Yes, absolutely.
Definitely do your research always.
And with that, Sara, I want to thank you. I want to thank you, first of all, for being on the front lines. Thank you for taking care of us. Thank you for serving us. Thank you.
Anytime.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's not just a profession, it's a calling, definitely.
Yes,
it really is.
Absolutely. And thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Everyone be safe.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye. Thank you for serving us. Thank you. Thank you.